Hey everyone, the Chronicler here. Today I will be presenting to you the second chapter of The Life and Times of Glory. If you missed chapter 1, you can see it in my Storytime playlist here on my channel, and you can follow along on my website at c9prod.com if you'd like to read with me, or just read it in your own time. Alright, without further ado, let me present to you The Life and Times of Glory, Chapter 2, a story about Jack and Glory. I'll tell you a story about Jack and Glory, and now their story's begun. Once were 3 little mice who ran around the town and through. The town, by name of Hamelin, would tell these mice to shoo. Yet the mice were a minor nuisance, stealing only 1 or 2 cents from rich pockets now and then, and that was all they'd do. Once a farmer and his wife, a rooster and his hen, met a woman whom her life spent in a hollow den. This strange woman in that hole within that hill she owned a bowl. Since the couple caused no strife, she gave that bowl to them. A lion and a unicorn were brothers of a girl, and every smile she put on had meant to them the world. Every day they would compete to see which brother she would greet, finding treasures she could own, gold, silver, gem, and pearl. A young boy by the name Jack Jelf could not spell the word pie. His mother put him on a shelf, and there he'd sit and cry. And should it be a sunny day, that he want to go out and play, it often would be just himself, while others passed him by. The Bid for Glory. Glory, Glory, what a name! It fits you perfectly, for every man in all the land would fight for you with glee. At each and every morning come, your radiance outshines the sun. Ask, and you'll find anyone would love you gratefully. Jack, dear Jack, oh, what a shame. Come watch this awkward boy. To think he could win Glory's hand by some courageous ploy. Men have come from all around to gather to this humble town, hoping to some day be bound by lovely Lady Coy. But odd as every oddness be, Glory's eyes did follow Jack. Laughing, they go over there. Holding hands, come over back. The bowl. There is a bowl. The toy maker made it, by magic and comic delight. In went a little boy, out came a giant. He gave many children a fright. Whatever goes in will surely come out, and whatever comes out will grow. The longer you stay, the larger you'll be. That boy stayed 5 years in a row. The Giant. A large boy lives up in the sky, awaiting his mother up there so high. Everyone else was scared away, so he makes pottery each day. And he will sit in Skyfish Glen with a pie baked just for him. And he will feed and he will hold his pet goose with her eggs of gold. He will forget his silver bell with which his mother wished him well, and in this way wait her return. Anyone else this boy will spurn. The Mice and Jack. 3 mice, acquaintances of Jack, followed him for his strength, and though academics he lacked, his kindness went good length. As a young man, kind Jack could carry 2 full-grown men up a hill. He would not sweat, he would not tarry, doing much work with good will. One day, as the mice were out, a butcher passed them by. With vegetables he went his route and said, "Well, my, oh my!" "Well, my," he said. "Well, oh, my soul!" The mice ducked quickly round a bend. To think they own a magic bowl, that rooster and that hen. And bless me if it isn't true that those 3 beans inside would lead one to the potter's goose, whose gold eggs are his pride. The mice conspired with each other, Hunter, Joker, Pan. "Let's get that gold," said Hunter. "We will live like merry men." Said Joker. "We will need more strength." Said Pan. "Then let's get Jack." For little Pan liked that young man, though Joker laughed. "That hack." Jack trusts the mice. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. All play and no work makes Jack a mere toy. If all he does is work and play, our Jack will surely be a very sadly boy for you and silly toy for me. Where be Jack? He's in the field again. 3 mice be looking for him, with beans stolen from the hen. Where be hen? unconscious on the floor. A frying pan had met her head when she answered the door. Lured in by tales of gold, kind Jack followed the mice. Out into a field they went to plant their magic beans. "Keep the golden goose for glory, Jack," was their advice. "We only need a dozen eggs to live as fat as kings." But what great lies from these little things, and what great things from these little lies. If you ought to be a king, do not think the mouse is wise. Climbing. And have you ever climbed a beanstalk? Have you, my dear friend? Let me tell you, if I may. Come now, your ear to lend. Are you prepared for me to say? This secret you must guard. It's hard. Fair weather. All work and no play makes Jack a little dull. Yet one cannot but to admit his strength is like a bull. For when the mice are tired, they just cling and let him pull. You do all the work, my friend, and I'll keep all the find, because you're very nice, my friend, so I know you won't mind. Arrival. Up in the clouds, a monstrous potter keeps his giant sword for slaughter. Never shall a person pass to go beyond the sky. 80 years a many, there alone a friend not any, he shall watch the skyfish splash and play up there so high. It's a fairly good arrangement for a potter with derangement, who is thankfully asleep when into the house they creep. Their minds began to wander, their hearts began to pound, each moment's breath felt longer, may he stay asleep so sound. As imagination flew, scared eyes knew not what to do. Perhaps the pie upon the sill was made out of his latest kill, and if that sword came crashing down, surely it would split the town. Yet as they scanned around, they found their dreams might just come true. I spy with my little eye, the golden goose is sitting by. Hurry, urged Joker. Come quickly, said Hunter. Softly, hissed Pan as they moved. Jack came along and followed the brothers until they arrived at the goose. That goose is quite a size, said Jack. Said Pan, then help us bring it back. But as Jack reached the goose of gold, a shimmer did distract him. Away there by the fireplace, a silver bell attract him. Why stop you for a silver bell when have you all this gold? Which do you think would make fair maiden happiest to hold, unless it to be sold? The fumble. As Jack ran with the goose in hand to get the silver bell, the fireplace was much too hot for the bird to be near. Jack pressed on. It all went wrong. The goose, it fussed and fell. Forget that hack, said Joker. I've the goose. Let's out of here. But Jack was nimble. Jack was quick, and he secured the bell, then used his other hand to scoop a great serving of coals. No second thoughts, he threw the coals. The mice, they yelped and fell, for those 3 mice would leave him there and take off with his gold. Alas, the coal was much too hot. As it was thrown, the mice were caught. The pledged revenge. The mice screamed out in pain, for it had got into their eyes. I'll kill you, promised Joker. Better run now while you can. As Jack neared the goose, that he might take off with his prize, Hunter took a swing at him for burning little Pan. But while they fought, the monstrous potter rose out from his bed. Who are these little rodents in my house? The giant said. Jack said, well, I am not a mouse. He took the goose and ran. Consequences. The mice were blind and could not see. They tried to hide, they tried to flee. The potter's shouts made thunder gasp, and soon each mouse was in his grasp. Where be my goose? Roared the giant, lest I squeeze out your life. It's with Jack, who's climbing down the beanstalk, squeaked the mice. Down the beanstalk, down it fast. Run, Jack, run. To the shed to get an axe. Quick, Jack, quick. Back again and hack again. Jack has won! Down fell the monstrous potter with a topple, teeter-totter, and a crash. The little mice were still in hand, all hazy, daisy, dizzy from the clash. Jack has won. Hip hooray! A frabjous day! A golden goose for glory! Hurry, Jack, to bring it back. Let's have a wedding story. Where be Glory? She's on the highest hill. The men compete each year for her, they're fighting for her still. Where be her brothers, competing with the rest? No man shall claim their sister till the brothers they can best. But look, here's Jack. Will he pass the test? Look at Jack, running down the way. With the golden goose for glory, surely this will be the day. I declare, surely marriage, this I say. Surely marriage, this I say. How incredible life can be, baffling us with mystery. And now their story is done. Lovely Glory did accept the golden goose from Jack. With a smile she declared, "Indeed, this is a gift. But you know that I am Glory. One thing you still lack. If you are to claim my hand, your prestige you must lift. For who in Hamlin knows you as any more than a hack?" Glory's reflection. This is Glory's mirror, mounted o'er the table here. This is Glory's hair, curling, waving, golden, fair. These are Glory's lips, red as cherries and rose tips. These are Glory's eyes, brown like earth where beauty lies. This is Glory's tear. It's not reflected in the mirror. Glory's brothers see to it. Glory with much and Jack with none, yet what he had he gave her. So Jack went out to gain prestige, that he might one day have her. Meanwhile, Glory's brothers, they could not believe their eyes. Surely 'tweren't that oddly Jack who brought back such a prize. Quickly, find a better prize to set before our sister's eyes. Family. The lion and the unicorn were fighting for a crown. The lion beat the unicorn all around the town. Some threw them white bread, some threw them brown, but all helped to pack them up and send them out of town. The brothers had to leave that day. Bags packed, they left for far away. But Glory won't be cast aside, for she is the people's pride. She will stay with them a year, then at last escape from here, to go and find her brothers dear, and live then by their side. The end of Chapter 2. Thank you so much for listening. Again, this story is free on my website. We'll be posting every week on Monday, right along with these videos. Honestly, I'm having a blast kind of acting it out as I go. I hope that's not too annoying. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and I look forward to reading Chapter 3 to you next week. Stay gorgeous, peeps. Mwah.